Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're going to talk about something that is going to come relatively soon. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, what we're going to talk about is which Su. This is going to affect mostly newer players. All players probably already got the 2 copies that are required for some strategies. They are not like super important or a must have, but they are definitely useful and they definitely allow fun things, really fun things, especially now with the buff of Oboro. So what am I talking about here? Little Witch Su is a special kind of supporter. Last time she got her repeat, she was treated as a permanent supporter. And what does that mean? That number 1, she had its banner. Number 2, you could get her on the Desire shop, just like this one. And number 3, you could roll her with bad coins. But there's something to take into consideration. She falls into a special category. It's kind of in between limited and permanent because she's not available right now. She's blue. If we go here to the banner, you're gonna see that she is not here in this list. So she has some traits of the permanent supporters, but also some of the limited. And we're gonna call this kind of supporter holiday supporters because she is meant to celebrate Halloween. And similar to her, we have another holiday supporter that is gonna be the Christmas supporters. And for that we have Rinko and Ingrid. I don't have a copy of Ingrid, but they fall into the same category. The thing is that on the same year that they rerun Su, they rerun Holy Knight, Rinko, and Ingrid. But for them, their banner was a little bit different. Yes, they still had the copies on the Desire shop, if I'm not mistaken, but their banner, you had to use limited coins. So we don't know if now that they're going to rerun Su on October, she's going to be treated like that, like a limited supporter. I hope that Gremory doesn't. It's likely, probable at least, that they do. So be prepared. You want to save gacha coins, maybe limited gacha coins and some gems for her if you don't have the 2 copies. If you have 1 copy and you don't care too much about the strategy, that's fine. If you don't care about the strategy at all, that's fine. You can skip her. But I gotta say that she is not something that you just can skip. Like it's not exactly a must-have, but neither is it. What's the word? Like you cannot just dismiss her just like that. She's impactful enough to roll for her. So what can you do with this Su? The main doesn't matter. What matters is the extra passive on the active. The main is going to help you with human and demon VR, but the really amazing part of her kit is this effect that says during melee attacks has a 25% chance to increase the duration of 1 debuff on the target for 2 seconds. So if you use this on fast melee attackers with multi-hits, she's going to permanently keep debuffs onto the enemy. The problem with this strategy and why it has fallen out of grace to some degree is that you are only able, you should only inflict 1 kind of debuff, like disarm or mind control. Or maybe you can use it with the super slow strategy, but the thing is, the more debuffs you have, the less consistent this is. So to give consistency, you use only one kind of debuff, and that means that you're not going to increase your damage with defense down, which is a problem, which is why you want penetration. But we don't have like super good supporters on the penetration department. Like the best we have right now is Francis, but it's pure penetration for suppressive characters, because in most cases you're not going to disarm the enemy. So yeah, it is rough. I'll tell you that much. It is rough to do that. If you want, like, you can rely on Magatamas, but that's also rough because building these perfect penetration Magatamas costs a lot. I only have 2 perfect penetration Magatamas. Like, this one is not perfect and this one is not perfect. So yeah, it costs a lot of UR bits, and we cannot craft the UR bits. That's the problem there. So even so, Witch-Su is valuable. It used to be valuable because of the disarm strategy, but now it's more valuable because of the permanent mind control. Just by equipping Su to another, just one melee attacker, fast multi-hit melee attacker, like, I don't know, for example, Felicia, Oboro is going to be able to keep the mind control permanently up. You just go with Red Oboro that does Wicked Slasher, Hypnosis Seal, and Carnage Dance, because this doesn't reduce damage taken. Yeah, this doesn't inflict a debuff, and the enemy is not going to be able to move, and you're just going to deal a huge amount of damage to them, and they just don't move. The advantage of using mind control over disarm is that not only they do not attack you, they also don't move. They cannot escape. So it's easier to hit them. So that's why you use this. And that's why I wanted to give you a heads up. Like, we have the month of August and September, like, to save, supposedly, for Su. But truth be told, there's likely going to be limited banners and such, so yeah. For the F2P players who do not have this supporter, I suggest that you think thoroughly if you want to get Witch-Su or not. And if you do, save your resources. If not, then continue to roll on whichever banner you feel like. Like, it's completely fine if you skip her. She is not required to beat step 100. She allows to use some strategies, but she's definitely not like one of the main strategies used to beat VR. It's just one of many strategies that you can use to reach step 100 and beyond. In fact, usually to reach step 100 and beyond, you want damage with penetration and debuffs at the same time, which means that you're going to inflict multiple debuffs, usually defense down, to increase your damage. And that's why she is not the greatest option. You have to truly dedicate yourself to one kind of strategy, but on lower steps, like from 61 below, she's going to be really useful for you. If you're still having troubles with VR, she's going to give you consistency with these strategies by using Oboro and 2 other attackers, melee attackers. Like, that's the advantage of using her. For people who are still developing their accounts, she's going to be pretty useful, in my opinion. But what do you think about it? Do you think she has fallen out of grace? Do you think she's worth investing? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!